Hi there. I wanted to show you how to do a pre-tied front double hammock, and because with a lot of pre-tied carries it's really useful to think about what they're going to look like after you put baby in. I thought I'd start with my baby in the wrap. Okay, so this is a front double hammock. Here you have baby centered in front. Baby's covered by two traditional sling passes. Here's one of them. Here's the other, under there. And the thing that makes this carry extra comfy is that there's this spread horizontal pass at the back. And you can see it, it's sort of hidden under the other passes, but it's key to this carry is that the top rail is high on my back here, and it's tight throughout the width and takes a lot of weight. Okay, so that's what you're going for when you're pre-tying front double hammock. And so one thing to remember is this tight top rail, and the other thing to notice is where baby's knees are in this carry, and that'll depend on the size of the baby. So here you can see baby's knees are about here on my body, and I'm going to have to remember that when I pre-tie that. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to pre-tie this and how to pop baby in. Okay, so we start out by finding the middle marker, and I'm going to take the middle marker and put it up high right in the center of my back. And I'm going to hold the top rail tight because, again, what we want eventually is a tight top rail. Alright, I'm going to take this tight top rail and pin it under my chin in just a second. And the next thing I'm going to do is work on the bottom rail. What I'm going to want to do is place the bottom rail right where I want baby's knees to wind up. So I'm grabbing the bottom rail from both sides here, gathering up the fabric at the front. And now I'm going to work on creating a shape that's just like the front double hammock winds up being after you pop baby in. So I'm going to keep my hand holding the bottom rail here, right where I want baby's knees to wind up eventually. And I'm going to keep it to hold this bottom rail here and not move my hand. It's like I'm gluing it to my body with this hand. And with my other hand, I'm going to keep working on this outer pass. I'm going to keep this pinned. So now I'm going to take this hand and reach under the wrap and grab this bottom rail. And I'm going to flip it over my shoulder, and I'm going to keep this other hand stable. Okay, I'm going to take this, flip this over my shoulder, and kind of dangle it behind me so it doesn't get twisted. Alright, now I'm going to switch hands so that I can continue holding the bottom rail where it's supposed to go. And I'm going to reach behind me and grab the rail that I just flipped behind me. And pull it to the front and pass it to this hand that's holding the bottom rail where it's supposed to be. Now I'm going to arrange this on my shoulder a bit and pull the top rail so it's tight on my front. I'm going to pull it here, make sure it's on the outside of my shoulder, and grab that rail behind me and pull it to the front. Okay. And then I'm just going to take this tail and put it in my knees. And I'm going to do the same thing with the other pass. I'm going to pull the other pass out to the front. It was pinned under. And again, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to pin the top rail. I'm holding the bottom rail where I want baby's knees to wind up. Take my hand, I reach under the wrap and grab the bottom rail, and I dangle it over my shoulder so it doesn't get twisted, continuing to hold the bottom rail without it traveling out. Okay, I'm going to switch hands. I'm going to reach behind me, grab this new top rail on my back, pull it to front, raise the shoulder a bit, and take this new bottom rail, also pull it to front. Alright, now I'm going to tie a loose half knot. Okay, Now I'm going to arrange this a little bit before I pop baby in. So again, the key thing is here is my top rail is quite tight. And my bottom rail is at about the height that baby's knees are going to wind up. So it's important to keep it at this height. Now I'm going to arrange the shoulders a bit so that my this top rail winds up on the outside here. You see this purple rail is on the outside of my shoulder here. And I'm going to put most of the bunching on top of my shoulder. I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Okay. All right. And now I'm going to pull in a tiny bit of space so there's enough space to pop baby in. And to do that, I'm going to reach behind me and bounce and pull a bit of fabric into these front traditional sling passes. Okay, so now I have a bit of space. You need less space than you think you do. Okay, and now I'm going to pop baby in. Here I pop baby in an interesting way because baby's going to go in through the top of the first pass, but through the bottom of the other pass. So here's how this will work. I'm going to take this outer pass and I'm going to bunch it up and pin it here, and I'm going to pop baby into this pass. So I'm going to pick up my baby and put baby on this shoulder, keeping this pinned. I'm going to reach my arm through and guide baby's legs through. Again, we're just sticking baby through the inner pass. I'm going to pull this up to baby's neck. I'm going to make a seat. Alright, so now baby's popped into the inner pass. And now, as I said, I'm going to pop in baby through the bottom of the outer pass, which is kind of bunched up here. And I'm going to pull it over baby's head and spread this out over baby and make a second seat. So, as you can see, this already looks a lot like a front double hammock. But I do tend to, so if you're in a hurry, actually, you can just untie the half knot, retie over the legs and go. I like to adjust it, especially the first time I do it. So I'm going to do my adjustments. So the biggest thing, again, is to make sure this pass, the horizontal pass at the back is tight. So I'm going to pull any slack from that pass into the front. And I'm going to walk it around towards the shoulder. So I'm pulling slack through and walking it towards the shoulder. All right. So now this back pass is nice and tight. I'm taking a lot of the weight. I'm going to keep a hand on the baby and untie this half knot. And now hold the tails over baby's legs. I'm again going to make sure my bunching on the shoulders is careful with the top rail over baby on the outside of my shoulder. And now I'm going to do tightening like you would do in kangaroo carry. Start with the bottom rail on your back. Pull on it and do our shoulder shrug. And pull the tightened strand to the front hand and do that through the width. Do the same thing on the other side. Take the bottom rail on your back. Like that. There we go. Take the bottom rail on your back and pull on it and do the shoulder wiggle and pass the tightened strands to the front. Okay. All right. And that actually, sometimes when I'm done with this, it kind of over-tightens my shoulders a bit. So here's something you can do once the shoulders are even, is you can smooth out these tails and kind of put them behind you and kind of wiggle your shoulders to loosen things up a little bit. And to work a little tiny bit of slack into your shoulders. Okay, after you do this and the shoulders feel just the right tightness, you just tie a knot over baby's legs. I'm going to tie a square knot. All right, and there we go. And let me also show you how to pop baby in and out. So usually I will do the adjustment the first time I tie this, but then I will actually not really readjust the carry when I pop baby in and out. Here's how you pop baby out. sort of the opposite of how you popped baby in. Take the outer pass, you pull it over baby's head, and then you just reach in and pull baby out of the inner pass. And to pop baby in, it's much like when you're first popping baby in, but you can do it without untying. Put baby on the shoulder, pop baby into the inner pass. Okay, and pop the outer pass over baby's head and make the second seat. Okay, arrange everything on your shoulders. And at this point, because I'm not going to even untie, I'm going to just pull baby's legs through the bunch passes. And usually when I do this, I have a bit of slack here, not enough slack in the shoulders, so I look behind me and pull a bit of slack in my shoulders and also tighten up the fabric near the knot. And there we go. And you can pop baby in and out as many times as you want. I never even untied. All right, that's it. That's Front Double Hammock.